Hey there, my name is LexC, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Lex Chat, where creatives helping creatives, we talk about different topics that will help each other to grow creatively, professionally, all that good stuff. I forgot to say that spiel in my last Lex Chat from last week. We getting back into it. It's been a little minute since I've been doing my Lex Chats, so if you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And today's topic that I want to get into with y'all is not sitting on music, coming up with a plan, and being consistent. So let's just hop right into it, right? The reason why I came up with this topic is because I recently gathered up the courage, the strength, I don't know exactly what to call it, but I had a revelation 2 or 3 months ago, and I realized that I have become one of the artists that I cautioned my clients not to be like. What am I talking about? I tell my clients all the time to just F it, do it, put it out there. Who cares if you don't have a marketing plan right now? No one's going to hear it if it's just sitting on your hard drive. And what do? Excuse me. I become one of those artists whose music is sitting on the hard drive. And it was a very tough realization for me. It was like clutching pearls, mouth over hand, gasp type of moments for me. Because I'm like, dang, I should be leading by example, and I'm not doing a good job of leading by example for my clients. So today I just want to have a quick conversation about it. How do we stop sitting on the music? How do we create a plan and then be consistent with it? Right off the top of my head, right? The word that pops in is discipline. Discipline. That's been a good buzzword for me since the new year started. Yeah, I'll say the past 6 months. And so how did I overcome this for myself? Well, I want y'all to bear witness to my accountability. All right. So I sat down one day and I had a little listening party with myself. And actually, I was here on Instagram as well. I was on Instagram Live doing a little listening session, and a few people popped in and out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And there was one point where I actually got very emotional because I asked the question, Lord, why do you keep blessing me with ideas that I can't afford? And like I mentioned in the previous episode, when we're talking about the qualities of a leader, right? I didn't realize how deeply I was operating in a scarcity mindset. And I was passing it off to myself as being independent, as being able to do what it takes to get my stuff done. But unfortunately, I've kind of burnt myself out in the process, right? And I'm realizing that what I thought was independence was actually just scarcity mindset. And I had been holding myself back from doing certain things because I hold the fear of not having enough money to do things. And unfortunately, that's just been the wrong mindset for me to be operating from. But it happened, And I think that's what happens with a lot of other artists as well. We kind of get caught up in feeling like, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I don't have the team. Usually it's that money portion though, right? I don't have the money to do this the way that I want to do it properly. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the skill set. I don't know the people. And we keep putting these limiting beliefs on ourselves as to why something cannot get done. Now, for me, I fall into that, but it's like the opposite way. Well, I already explained to y'all that I feel like I just burn myself out because I do so much all the time, and I'm just extending myself all the time. And I haven't been working very smart. Honestly, I haven't been working very smart. well, to be transparent, because we're always honest, I had not been working very smart. And so what happened for me is music is my passion, but it's also how I make money and how I pay my bills. A lot of times I have to put people ahead of myself in the interest of maintaining my residence, in the interest of having gas in my car, in the interest of having food in my fridge. Like, hi, Katniss. Don't stare at me all creepy like that. Like, I need to make a certain amount of money each month to be good for the upcoming month. You know what I mean? So if I'm not in a position where I'm about to hit that quota, I'm putting other people's schedules, other people's releases ahead of my own. I am a singer, songwriter, audio. Like, I offer those talents to others. A lot of times, I don't get to utilize my own talents for myself because it pays for the bills, and people are booking me because they want my talents, because they want the way that I think, right? And what's happened with that is I've thrown myself into other people's progress, other people's success. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's been at the detriment of making things happen for myself. And I found myself having all the ideas and all the energy for everybody else. So it's kind of like having a 9 to 5, and then you get home and you don't have any energy for yourself. Well, everybody else was the 9 to 5. And then I came home and I had no energy left for LexC. And so, I would be making music, but only if somebody asked me to feature, or I'll be making music, but only if someone was like, hey, Lex, let's do this collaborative project. And then I just completely let them take the reins, and I just follow their lead on whatever they want to do. But I wasn't taking an active role. I have not been taking an active role in my musical career. And unfortunately, I think that was also affected by not being in the best relationship, like romantically, not being in a supportive relationship romantically, and having problems with that. And just, unfortunately, the music, I think, became a sore point because, being in the entertainment industry, I work with a majority of men. And so to appease my partner, I was like stepping away from doing too much within the studio and stuff like that. So it's just, all of that to say that I became one of those artists that let life get in the way. And, sometimes life just does get in the way. The fact that this LexChat episode is coming out now, like, it's legit been like 2 months since I've put out a LexChat, well, a month and a half since I've put out a LexChat episode. And that's just because the buzzword again, discipline. I did not maintain the discipline that it takes to just get certain things done. But yeah, all of those extenuating circumstances aside, I had the revelation. Well, yes, in consideration of all of those extenuating circumstances. What's up, Chuck? I realized that I become one of those artists that holds on to the music and keeps it on the hard drive. Now, how did I get out of it? I literally just decided one day. Well, here was my thought process, actually. I have like this weird accent ever since my teeth got straightened. I don't know. But here was my thought process, right? So putting everyone above myself, not doing music until other people would come and be like, hey, Lex, let's do this. And then I just go along with it. I got to a point where, like, man, I'm going to have all this music coming out featuring other people, but it's not going to be music by just LexC. And that didn't sit right with me. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to be known as an artist that's only good when she's featured with others. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, to stand on my own sound. And I want people to essentially, you know how there's like Beyonce radio, Mary radio, Miguel radio on Spotify, just any artist, right? They have their own radio station. And then it plays majority of their music or artists that sound like them. My goal is to have a LexC radio station where all the vibes are supplied by me. I supply all the vibes. me solo. It's always been very important to me that I am able to create strong music with just me on the track, because that's how this music thing started and that's how it needs to continue. I've done a great job, I think, of branching out and collaborating with other artists. But unfortunately, I did not maintain that balance of, okay, there's LexC featuring, and now there needs to be LexC solo, which is funny because my email is lexcsolo@gmail.com. But so, yeah, I didn't want to have all of this music coming out with other people and then having people potentially ask, well, are there any songs with just LexC? I didn't want that to happen. And so I sat down one day and I told myself, you know what? I'm going to sit down and listen to all of the music that I can find on all of my hard drives. I'm going to review the songs. I'm going to decide what can go out right now. And really, how it sounds right now, is it good enough to put out today? Make a list of those songs. What songs need a little bit more working before I just put them out in the public? Make that a separate list. And then what songs are just sitting here? Like when I did this, I came up with a list of at least 30 songs that are ready to release right now, today. Even with the mixing that doesn't quite match my sound of what I'm doing today, but it sounds pretty daggone good, pretty gosh darn good. Considering that I recorded some of this stuff like back in 2016, you know. Katniss has been playing with this guard. So I made a list of all those things, and I said, wow, I have 30 songs. What is my next barrier? Because now I know, like, I have the music. I could put out 2 albums with this music. Now, what is my excuse for not being consistent? What's the barrier? I know one barrier for me, well, the next step is like, well, I got to have cover art for all of these things. I'm thinking, okay, I struggle with budget. It can be very expensive to pay for someone else to design cover art, but I have found and I've been utilizing the power of canva.com. This is not sponsored, but Canva, I just made a fly cover art for this upcoming song with Gray Keys called Labels Paid For. I did it myself. And if I do say so myself, it looks so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And like, it's a testament to me getting better to like designing my own cover arts. Not that I want to do it all the time, and that's something that I can't wait to hand over to somebody else, but I'm just proud of myself for doing it myself. So how am I not going to sit on music? All right, I got all of these songs. Why not just pick a random day that I want to release these things? My birthday is on the 6th of December. You know what? Let's release music on the 6th of every month. So I did that with one song. July 6th, Demons came out. And now I just got permission from Gray Keys to put out Labels Paid For. He's on board with that. So I'm going to work that up and get that ready for release. I can't wait, y'all. There's so much passion in Labels. There's so much passion in there. So yeah, that's the plan. You know, I went through and I listened to my music. I got a list of songs that could be put out right now. And then I got to work creating cover arts for those things. So I got those cover arts. Now the next barrier would be the money, like how much it costs to actually distribute it. I use CD Baby. Right now, the releases are $50 per release. I could do the standard $10 release, but there are just certain features that come with the CD Baby Boost that I feel like is really important to have. So, you know, that's what the extra payment is for. I think it ends up being an extra $30 on like DistroKid if you want to have like the lifetime thing. Like no matter what happens to your account with DistroKid, your music will remain on streaming platforms. Make sure y'all select that every single time that you distribute with DistroKid, as a side note. But yeah, so you know what? I'm going to commit $50 a month to releasing one song a month. The only thing I got to worry about is that $50 a month. I sing, write, record, mix, master my own music. So I don't need to pay for those things. I've proven to myself that I can create my own cover art, so I don't need to pay for that. The only thing I got to worry about paying for right now is the distribution. And that's my plan. Just release on the 6th, go through that list. Don't even think about it. Just go down the list and release them just like that and put it on a schedule. And the other reason why I had this idea is because I've been telling people, all right, Katniss, I've been telling people to be consistent with when they post on Instagram, all the social media sites. And I thought to myself, if I'm able to feed social media algorithms, can I feed streaming platforms, streaming algorithms the same way? And if I do that, will it help me to gain more traffic? Why don't I treat streaming like social media? Because honestly, I don't give it as much attention. But the most important thing, my most important content should be the music. So why am I not putting out music? And it just clicked, there's no excuses. There's really no excuse, And for me personally, I'm not worrying about what it sounds like. Now, some other artists out there, y'all might need to make sure that you care how it sounds. All right. You might need to make sure, because I have a particular skill set. I went to school for audio production, so I know how to make myself sound good, and I know how to make it sound distribution ready and radio quality. Right. So that's just a blessing that I have. That's a blessing that I have. I can go ahead and release that. But if you are satisfied with how your music sounds right now, and you can live with it sounding like that, then what's your excuse for not having put it out yet? Is it the money barrier? Is it the cover art? How willing are you to take on some of these burdens yourself just to see it happen? Is one song a month a doable release schedule for you? Or could you do more than that? Could you do more than that? For me, once a month works, and I like the 6th of every month because my birthday is on the 6th of December. How cool would it be to have a song released on my birthday? I don't know which one that's going to be yet, but yeah, that's the plan that I decided to come up with, and that y'all be my witness and hold me to it, hold me accountable. I want the same way that people can expect me to post one thing a day on my Instagram. People should be able to expect at least one song a month on streaming, on streaming platforms. I should be able to supply one new song a month at least on streaming. And so that's it. That's the plan. And with this, I can stop myself from being one of those artists who has music just sitting on the hard drive. Now, it's a little more difficult for me, or you would think it would be easier for me, but it is a little more difficult because I service others in the industry. I write for others, I record for others, I mix master for others. I'm coaching other people on how to get their stuff. So a lot of times I'm putting so much energy into other people, and I'm forgetting that I'm an artist myself, and I'm not putting enough energy into LexC the artist. I put so much energy into LexC the engineer, LexC the vocal coach, it's just LexC the teacher. I put too much energy in that. But if I can consistently just do one song a month, that's getting me closer to my dream of not being one of those artists that just has music sitting on the hard drive. And another worry that people have is, well, I don't have the budget necessarily to market. I don't either. At this point in my career, I don't either. But I don't care anymore, because what's old to me will always be new to someone else. There's 9 billion people on this planet, but only one owner of the hard drive. So Like, it's just, you may not have the money for marketing, but again, if it's on your hard drive, no one else is going to hear it anyway, but you don't even hear your songs that much because you don't even go back on your hard drive to listen to your stuff. So don't even worry about that. Just throw it out there, put it out there. Like, what are we worried about? I think as artists, and this is another revelation I've had, right? And I've had to have this conversation with some of the people that I'm collaborating with, because people want to drop music fast. Like, I have to do this by this date. And we put so much pressure on ourselves. And I was actually called a perfectionist the other day. I'm like, I'm not a perfectionist. I just want to create value. I want to offer value to people. And that's a complex I have to work through for myself. But as artists, we worry so much about everything we don't have that we don't even put forth the effort to do what we can. Because, like, I don't know, like, and I've never been the one to be too prideful about my appearance. Like, I don't care if I look successful. Like, I want to be successful in my own right, and I don't care how it looks to anybody else. And for me right now, success looks like what I'm doing, which is I'm living off of music. Praise be to God. And I would feel good about myself if I could get one song out a month. Like, there should be no excuse for me. I don't think I finished this thought earlier. There should be no excuse for me because I work in studios, because I know how to write, record, mix, and master myself. There's really no excuse other than I just haven't had the discipline of putting aside the time for myself to make sure that I'm scheduling out, to make sure that, hey, you recorded 50 songs with other artists this month. Where's that one from LexC? And I think people really want to hear that. Like, I want to hear that from myself first and foremost, but I'm sure other people would be able to enjoy it as well. And I think, unfortunately for me, I allowed my notions of the industry to get in the way of me just putting out music. Like, the goal was always to put out music. It was always that. And then to finish my other thought with, artists feeling like they got to hurry up and drop stuff all the time. There's a balance that we have to strike in between, right? We don't want to hold on and harbor music, but we also don't want to just throw out anything. But like, once you get it to a point that you really love it and you feel like you're ready to share it, really, like, you don't have to rush it out there. Like, I'm working on a project with a couple male rappers, and we're doing a collaborative project. And one of them, I've gotten him to calm down and be like, okay, it's been a year that we've been working on it. He was getting kind of frustrated, and I'm like, but why? Why would you want to rush something with your name on it? We don't have to. And the other artist, right? He was like, we need to hurry up and get this mix and master, put it out by this month. And I'm like, why? Even like me randomly deciding to drop it on the 6th of each month. That's a reason that I like and I'm good with. At this current stage, at this current level that we're at as artists, it doesn't matter when we drop. It doesn't. Like, what pressure? Why are we putting this pressure on ourselves? No one else is holding us to this standard. So why are we putting the pressure on ourselves to have something done like this by this date? Hurry up and put it out. Who's waiting? Because I know I want to feel good about it. I'm not doing this for anybody else but me. And that for me is where I'm getting back to. This music thing was always supposed to be for me. And if the fame, of course I want to be famous. I want to be a superstar. But unfortunately, I've gotten away from the root foundation, which is this music thing is supposed to be therapy for me. It's supposed to be a way to connect with other people. But how can people connect when the content that they want is the music and I'm not dropping the content? Social media really got in the way of this too. And I'm going to wrap up this conversation, but just don't sit on your music. Come up with a plan. And the buzzword is discipline. Just have the discipline to be consistent with your plan. Be accountable to yourself with what you say you want to do. Don't sit on that music. And I hope that me telling you about how I have come up with a plan to release my music, I hope that inspires you to come up with your own plan too. You know, sit down and think about budget. Sit down and think about inventory. Your inventory is your music. How many songs could you release right now? And then budget. If you're not going to create your own cover art, how much is it going to take to get cover art once a month? How much is it going to take to release a song on streaming once a month? Or do you want to release 5 songs on like a monthly tape or something? You know what I mean? So just this episode is really just a free flowing train of thought. I really do hope that it inspired you to look at yourself. Don't be one of them artists. Let's not be those artists that just have music sitting on the hard drive. There's no rush, but also part of being an artist is offering up your art to the world. If you don't care about it, then fine. Disregard everything I've said in this podcast. You don't owe it to anybody to share it. But part of being an artist is offering up your art to the world. And if you're not doing that, and I'm coming from myself when I say this too, you're not doing that, but you got the wherewithal to consistently post on social media, but not consistently post your music. What are we doing? Doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. So don't sit on that music on the hard drive. Put that ish out there and stay consistent with your plan. Yeah, I have a lot more I could say, but I'm not trying to be too wordy and too long-winded. This is already just under 30 minutes. But I really hope that this inspires you. I really hope it joggles your brain. I hope it gets the wheels turning. And like I said, I'm putting it out there for me too. Hold me accountable to what I said. On the 6th of each month, there's literally no reason why I should not be able to put out a song each month. One song, there's no reason. Except for maybe like budget, right? But I can't come up with $50 a month. I can do everything else. I can't come up with $50 a month. Yes, I can. It's time to stop limiting myself. I can do this. I'm going to do what I can do until I can do what I really want to do. But until then, I can't hold on to it. I can't let it sit on the hard drive. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Lex Chat today. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a review to let me know what you think about this episode. Like, seriously, what's our problem? Why are we holding on to music on the hard drive? You know, I want to give a shout out to my patrons, Mr. Flat Shoals, Eldon Cleary, and Alton Thomas. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I appreciate you so much so that I can continue to churn out this content that is going to help all of us get the wheels turning in our minds and hold us all accountable, you know? So thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Lex Chat today. My name is LexC. Until next time, peace.
I can be your everything. You won't ever want more. If we can make it